Joseph of Arimathea is one of the most mysterious characters in the Bible. A respected member of the Sanhedrin, he stands out in the Gospels for a surprising act. He bravely asked Pilate for Jesus' body to bury it in his own tomb. This was not only a show of generosity, but also of deep faith and reverence for Jesus, who had been rejected by many and cruelly executed. But there is something else about Joseph that few know, an ancient letter attributed to him, which offers a unique portrait of Jesus, highlighting intimate details about his personality, appearance, and presence. This document, preserved in apocryphal manuscripts, invites us to ask why its content is not widely known and what its spiritual impact might be on our understanding of Jesus. Joseph appears at a crucial moment in the Gospel story. The Gospels describe him as a wealthy, respected man and a member of the Sanhedrin, the religious council that, ironically, had condemned Jesus. However, Joseph was a secret disciple, a silent follower who awaited the kingdom of God. His decision to ask for Jesus' body, a risky act considering the political and religious climate of the time, demonstrates exceptional courage and commitment. His position in the Sanhedrin and his participation in Jesus' burial have also sparked the interest of scholars who explore the possibility that he had a deeper connection to the events surrounding Christ's life and death. The city of Arimathea, where Joseph is from, remains shrouded in mystery, with few historical details about its exact location. However, Joseph's legacy transcends his geographical origin, standing out as one of the few who silently supported Jesus in the darkest moments of his life. Beyond the Gospels, some Christian traditions give him an even more significant role, describing him as the first guardian of the Holy Grail, the chalice used by Jesus at the Last Supper. Although these stories are considered legendary, they reinforce the mystical aura surrounding Joseph and link him to a greater spiritual mission. The letter attributed to Joseph of Arimathea adds an even more fascinating layer to his figure. Supposedly written after Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, it is presented as an intimate reflection on the essence of Christ. Described in some ancient documents and mentioned in apocryphal texts, this letter would have been preserved by the early Christian community. According to these accounts, Joseph felt the need to convey his vision of Jesus, not only as the Messiah, but as a person whose humanity and divinity deeply touched those who knew him. But is this letter authentic? The authenticity of the letter is a matter of debate. Some believe it could have been written by later followers, who used Joseph's name to give it greater credibility. Others think that, although it is not an official document, it could contain oral traditions and stories faithfully transmitted by early Christians. In any case, the content of the letter is intriguing, and although it is not included in the biblical canon, it offers a thoughtful perspective that can complement the Gospels. Why, then, is this letter not widely known? One hypothesis suggests that, like many apocryphal texts, it may have been considered unnecessary compared to the canonical Gospels. Furthermore, the detailed content of this letter may have been interpreted as a threat to established teachings. However, the mystery surrounding the letter could also be related to the history of persecution faced by early Christians, who may not have been able to preserve it widely. What makes this document so special is its detailed description of Jesus, a portrait that offers a more human and tangible link to his figure. Joseph of Arimathea writes about Jesus in a way that is both reverent and deeply personal. According to the letter, Jesus' eyes reflected a light that brought peace to even the most troubled hearts. His voice, described as a soft but strong river, touched the souls of those who heard him as if Jesus understood their deepest secrets. He was not just a teacher, but someone who spoke with a tender authority, capable of transforming the spirit. Joseph's portrait of Jesus' appearance highlights his serenity and compassion, attributes that went beyond his physicality and seemed to convey a perfect balance between his divinity and humanity. Joseph describes him as someone with a discreet strength in his countenance, as if he carried the weight of the world, but still found room to smile. His humility, though profound, was not a weakness. His way of moving and speaking inspired both trust and respect. Another aspect that stands out in the letter is the emotional effect that Jesus had on those around him. Joseph mentions that his very presence made the burdens of others feel lighter, and that in his presence hope became almost tangible. Jesus was not just someone who taught with words, but a being whose spiritual energy was almost palpable and left lasting marks on all who knew him. In addition, the letter tells of the moment when Joseph observed Jesus on the cross. Despite the pain and suffering, there was no hatred in his eyes, but mercy. According to Joseph, Jesus' sacrifice was an act of greater love, an offering that reflected his eternal mission. This account is moving because it not only shows Christ's sacrifice, but also his capacity for forgiveness and compassion, even in his final moments. Although the letter is not an official document, it invites us to see Jesus from a more human perspective, offering a portrait that can transform the traditional image that many have of him. Instead of a distant leader, we find a being who deeply understood human pain, someone who walked alongside people, listened to their needs, and saw them as unique individuals. The letter also challenges us to reflect on Jesus' love and its impact on those who knew him. Joseph describes a man who faced rejection and suffering without losing his compassion, someone whose message went beyond religion and touched the deepest fibers of humanity. This Jesus was not just a teacher or prophet, but a transforming presence, a being whose essence could change the lives of those who encountered him. Joseph's testimony inspires us to seek a closer and more authentic connection with Christ, a relationship that is not based only on rituals or abstract concepts, but on a personal and lived experience. The letter offers a vision of Jesus that goes beyond doctrinal details, showing us a being who was compassionate, merciful, and full of hope. This description humanizes Jesus, making him accessible and understandable, someone who understood the challenges of everyday life and who offered comfort to those who needed it most. In short, the letter attributed to Joseph of Arimathea presents us with an image of Jesus that invites deep reflection. It is an intimate portrait that complements the Gospels and helps us see Jesus not only as a sacred figure, but as someone close, human, and divine, whose actions and words impacted the lives of those who knew him. In reading this letter, we are called to see Jesus with a renewed gaze, remembering that his love and compassion continue to be a source of inspiration and transformation in the lives of those who seek a genuine relationship with him. This perspective encourages us to revalue our own faith and to reflect on how Christ's presence can be a living guide in our lives today, just as it was for Joseph thousands of years ago. If this video has inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. And of course, share your experiences in the comments. Together, we can build a strong and positive community. Thank you for joining us on this journey of growth and transformation. See you in the next video.